Full-blown Trump derangement syndrome?
Trump derangement syndrome has become a thing.
Now, I've never heard of Trump derangement syndrome. I'm not a doctor, but...
You don't need a degree in psychiatry to make the diagnosis.
Trump derangement syndrome. Hatred of Donald Trump so intense that it impairs people's judgment.
You're going to detention for bringing up politics in class. You want to go for two?
Hold yourself, man. Yo.
Excuse me? Excuse me? After all I put up with you for the last 2 years and talked you up and stood your back when they ripped you, you what? You say what? What? Because that's cult and dictatorship. Jesus Christ, you see that? No detention. Don't ever talk to me again.
What's going on, guys? So we got another episode of Left Wing Lunacy here because we got this extremely Trump deranged teacher, absolute lunatic, going off on a student because apparently they said something political. This is out there in New York City in Staten Island at a Catholic school. Okay, you had a teacher completely melt down because a student said something. Apparently it was something related to praising Trump in some sort of way or giving him the benefit of the doubt or something. And this teacher lost it, started talking about giving people detentions. This is just sickening. This is one of the reasons, I mean, guys, even at private schools, I mean, Catholic schools, a private school, you may not even be safe there, guys. You might want to consider homeschool if you can afford it, if you got some money or, I don't know, some sort of way to do it. That might be the move because these people are crazy and they will absolutely berate the hell out of your kids and basically try to verbally assault and beat them into submission when it comes to right think and wrong think. They want them to be woke little leftists, woke little soldiers of the radical left. I am absolutely not standing for it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this crazy teacher.
And the only thing that bothers me more than him is all the Republican senators and congressmen who just keep going along with it. It's not because they believe in it. You gotta know they don't believe in it. They don't believe in any of it. They're just afraid that he's gonna talk smack about them on Truth Social, and then they're gonna lose their job in an election. So they're just doing whatever he says, which is the worst possible thing, because that's cult and dictatorship. Jesus Christ, you don't see that?
Is there a Mexican flag up right there? Y'all see that? But anyways.
I'm not kidding when I say...
So just because somebody's afraid to speak out politically, it's a dictatorship. What do you call Sleepy Joe? Nobody wanted to say he was too old and cognitively declined until it was basically too late and extremely undeniable after that stupid debate. Everybody has political ramifications and consequences for speaking out, but let's
wipe that smile off. I don't care if that's a detention. I just wrote you a referral mentally. You're going to detention for bringing up politics in class.
Jesus.
You want to go for two?
Hold yourself, man. Yo.
Excuse me? Excuse me? After all I put up with you for the last 2 years and talked you up and stood your back when they ripped you, you what? You say what? What? Are you serious? Treating me with that disrespect? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Easy.
Are you serious? If I could take back your letter of recommendation from college right now, I would. You talk to me like that? After everything I've done for you? Are you kidding me? No detention. Don't ever talk to me again personally. You can ask questions in class. You say anything in class without raising your hand, you go to detention for a week. From now on. Disrespect me like that? You got your letter, so now everything's good, right? You got your high grade on the midterm, so everything's good. Now you can treat me like that? After all I've stood up for you, you punk ass. You really gonna do that to me?
Now the kid is a punk ass for saying two things, whatever the hell he said about Trump, because I didn't see that wasn't in the video. But also like, hey, control yourself, man. I mean, I feel like the student was in his right to be like, hey, man, relax. You need to get a hold of yourself because clearly, excuse me, like, guy, what the hell is wrong with you? He deserved to get slapped in the face. I don't ever want nobody talking to my kids like that because of a disagreement, I don't give a damn. My kid is extremely disrespectful. You handle it as an adult, you handle it appropriately. You're not their parent. Even the parents need to be careful about having a complete and deranged shouting match with their kid, much less a teacher. Excuse me. This guy's across the room and you can hear this teacher yelling at the top of his lungs. They probably heard him in other classrooms down a hallway, as crazy as this was. But all's well that ends well with this story, because as you can see here, the teacher appears to have been let go from their position. So let me go ahead and read this here. We became aware of a classroom incident that occurred last Wednesday where a faculty member expressed political views in a way that did not uphold the respectful discourse we expect at our school. Yeah, not at all. Subsequently, the faculty member was placed on leave the following school day pending a review of the circumstances. At Monsignor Farrell High School, we are committed to fostering an environment where all students feel safe, valued, respected, and heard. Well, to say that this student did not feel like his political point of view and thoughts were respected is a freaking understatement, because it's extremely discouraging to see any student express some sort of view and then be shouted down at the top of their lungs. If somebody in the school said, even though I don't agree with it, if somebody said, hey, well, I agree with transgender kids or something, I still don't think it's appropriate. I strongly disagree with that. That's like one of my biggest, like, I don't mess with all the stuff with the kids. I don't play with it all. But I still don't agree with like shouting them down, humiliating them, embarrassing them, intimidating them. Like, that kid probably felt so embarrassed. That student should feel ashamed, or that teacher should feel ashamed of himself for embarrassing a student like that, for embarrassing himself. And he should be ashamed to call himself an educator. While we encourage open discussions and diverse perspectives, these conversations must always reflect mutual respect and our Catholic values. As followers of Christ, we strive to create a school culture where every student feels respected and loved regardless of background and personal beliefs. We welcome diverse viewpoints and encourage open, respectful dialogue rooted in truth and compassion. Unfortunately, the recent classroom events did not reflect our mission. We reaffirm our commitment to the values that define Monsignor Farrell as a place of faith, learning, and community. Therefore, we have accepted the resignation of the faculty member involved in the incident, effective immediately. That's what that ass get. I mean, he's lucky that they allowed him to resign to begin with. In situations like this, in my opinion, it's a better look to fire him, in my opinion, than to be like, well, you know, they chose to resign. I get why they do it. But I mean, this is a dishonorable discharge. Like, a resignation is almost like honorable. They need to be dishonored here, because you cannot talk to students like that. It don't matter how bad they is. And this kid didn't even say nothing crazy. I've seen students trying to fight teachers. This dude is just a lunatic and should never be teaching again. Guys, this is just a reminder. Pay attention to what's going on with your kids. They might not be telling you about some of the foolishness, because when I was in school, I didn't really talk to my parents about it, but we had a lot of teachers who would just go crazy and start yelling. I don't think I ever had anybody, certainly not a male, because that's kind of beta male behavior. You don't really see that out of males, but definitely, you know, it's mainly women teach in grade school, and a lot of them aren't very smart, and some of them are very crazy and emotional, and they'd be having problems with their husband, somebody cheating on them or something, and they come to class crying and yelling and screaming. I've had teachers definitely do me wrong, like straight up pick favorites, like a girl acting crazy in the class and they just overlook everything she do. And then you like, somebody makes a joke and you like kind of snicker under your breath, and like the teacher want to point at you and start yelling and acting crazy. That's just kind of how it is, but I don't think it's acceptable. Certainly not to go to this extreme, be it male or female. It's not okay. And I'm glad that teacher was punished, and people should be ashamed for just allowing politics in general to allow them to be so freaking crazy is a big no-no. And I think people need to get that through their head, that disagreeing with somebody politically, regardless of how strong of the disagreement, does not give you some right to start screaming in somebody's face, probably spitting on them and everything if you're screaming that loud, because you are just making a villain out of yourself. And a lot of the things that you're claiming to hate, you have become. You become the oppressor. You become the dictator. You become the authoritarian. And it's crazy to me that people do not understand the insane amount of irony there. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Hoping that one of these comedians will come up with a anti-anxiety medication for these liberals and just take one tablet a day.